Adoption. Adoption of a spend management solution in a category is a really tricky thing, and I've learned a lot about it over the last 15 years. But it's not as tricky when you look at it simply as a change management problem. What you have to do to get adoption within a spend category is you have to design a solution that actually provides value to each of the parties that's going to be adopting the solution. That was the problem with the first set of solutions and many of the generic procure-to-pay systems. They designed a solution that was of value perhaps to the procurement organization, perhaps to the finance organization, but they didn't design a solution to the business itself, to the event manager. And so what they ended up doing was trying to sort of falsely convince the event manager to put things through this system so that they could meet their own needs, meaning procurement and finance. And that really is not a recipe for success. People can be sold a little bit, but they can't be sold a bill of goods. So the first answer to adoption is designing a system that truly adds value to each of those three parties. I think that's what Evet has done in meeting and events. Procurement gets what they need. They get control, they get visibility into the spend. Finance gets a great accounting. They can get rid of some of the maverick spending that they worry about, as does procurement. They can get rid of perhaps or limit the use of cards, which are hard to control. But meetings and events also gets a tool that doesn't just require them to do stuff, but makes it easy for them to do what they want to do, which is plan a great event and at the same time meet the needs of procurement and finance. So they look at it as a value add to them that happens to also be a value add to procurement and finance, rather than something that's being sort of shoved down their throat. So design is critical to getting adoption. So is communication and sales. Even if something is in three different groups' best interests, it's not necessarily going to be clear to them that it's in their best interest without training and communication. There's one other key to adoption, and this is one that everybody always forgets, which is the supplier. I talked about how the solution has to be designed for procurement, finance, and the business. It also has to be designed for a fourth party, a supplier, and many of the procure-to-pay solutions forgot that they're going to have to get a supplier who's going to interact with this solution. And if creating invoices, receiving POs, responding to change orders, things like that is not easy in the system, you're not going to be able to get supplier adoption. Some companies are willing to force their suppliers to get adoption, but most companies are smart and don't want to do that. They want to give their suppliers a solution that gives value to their business and allows them to cut costs as well. And so I think design, sales, and involving the supplier are all critical to getting adoption, and that's something that the Evet platform is designed